Hi there, my name's Robles, and today I'm going to be showing you ways that I build things in Minecraft that could help you and kind of my thought process in organics. This is not a tutorial. I'm going to call it a tutorial, but you shouldn't listen to it. So first of all, some good things in my opinion to have are world edit. That's probably one of the biggest ones, especially if you're doing it in creative, especially if you're doing something large. Even just to change the color of things if you don't like it. I always like to remember that things can be undone. I think another thing is voxel sniper. I tried that one time. It's just not for me. But that's just because I don't know what I'm doing. If you know what you're doing, I'm sure you can make it look amazing. But I'm sure if you want to make really big organics, I think that is helpful for people. Today I'm just going to be showing you how I make small ones, a little bit less time consuming. And I wouldn't listen to my advice, but you know, you gotta make a video out of something, you know what I mean? The first thing I like to do is pick a block. I use diamond personally. Some people might use gold. Some people could use you could really use any block that you wanted to. I like to use something that I can see the shapes in. Ones that I'm not going to be using like regularly. I'm not regularly using diamond blocks to build. I'm not regularly using gold blocks to build. I like to save those for when I'm building organics. That way I can, when I look at it, I know this is my organic block, this is how I see shape, and then my mind can get used to seeing shapes with those blocks. If you're in survival, dirt, great block, but I do like to plan things out in creative first. That way I can get a cool organic, and then you can use something like Litematica to use a schematic, gather the materials in survival, and then paste that in survival. Not paste it in, you know, build it. Yeah, cheat it in. I love references. I think references are the best thing ever. I think that they are not cheating. That's my personal opinion. I think that they are very helpful in a lot of ways. I like to use Pinterest. I think those are the ways you can get some of your cutest ideas and references and inspiration. So today I'm just doing animals. In the future I'll do statues. I've done statues before. I think statues are really fun. I think my favorite is, if you can check out my YouTube shorts, I built a life series build. A lot of those statues I really enjoyed making, and they didn't take too long. There was like I had a week to build that. I made more people than I want to count. I think 17 maybe. I think I'm just going to show you me building a dragon. I think dragons are probably one of the easiest things to start out on, even though they wouldn't seem like it, because you can make them small and they're not real. So you can really imagine a dragon to look like anything. It can be hard to start with practicing only references, so I think mixing in some things that aren't real. Not that dragons aren't real, I'm sorry if you think they're real. They might be, I don't know. Joe Jonas is real, so there's a lot of things I don't believe either. So what I like to do is I just like to start placing blocks crazily. Just start placing. Just don't care. And I like to remember that anything can always be undone, especially if you have world edit. And if you're building small, it can always be undone. I think I like to remember, if you're not having fun making something, switch to something else, because if you're not having fun, your art is going to reflect that. We're going to start from here and then just like crazily place blocks in the shape that we're looking for. So if you look on the screen now, this is kind of the shape that I'm imagining. So I kind of just want to place blocks in that shape that I'm imagining, and then just kind of hope. It's not going to be right the first try, and it's going to take a lot of trial and error. So this is the first line. You can definitely see that once we get to the waist, it gets a bit straight lined. Things you can do to do that are just kind of raise it up a little like this, or you can keep it that way, or you can let it go up and then down like that. Just switched it to, and now it looks a bit less straight. And straight looks good in the beginning, but then once you fill in all the chunks and everything, it's not gonna look the best. And then I think just finalizing your shape, making sure you like it. I think I don't like how this line right here goes kind of just straight down, come like this, and then go like this. And then I think I like dragons because you can give them a curly tail and no one can say anything about it. Okay, I like that less. So that's just the thing, is it's a lot of trial and error. It needs to come in a bit more, and then I think this part needs to go up like this. That's a bit better, and I think we could kind of make the tail even curl downward this way. And sometimes if you make things diagonal, it makes them more interesting. That is way swishier, as you can see at the tail part. I think it's kind of covering this, but I think that's okay in the end. I think I could move it out one block and get away with it. Something more like that. don't like how it kind of like goes straight there. I think I could even move this one block backward. So now you can kind of see I've got the shape that I want for the body. I would start filling it in with the block that you chose. If you do not have World Edit, I would start filling it in with the block you plan to build with. With World Edit, you can just change the blocks after. It's not really going to matter. That's what I like about World Edit, at least if you're building in creative and going to use Litematica to put it into survival. I don't think that's cheating. I think that's time saving. Just kind of going into these areas and kind of making it go out one. And then if you want to, I would make it go out another. That's a you choice though. But I usually think 3 wide is a good place to start. And then you can start to see what's wrong with the build. What looks right, what looks wrong. I definitely like this part. And I think I would like to start buffing it up this way too. So I'm gonna start just adding blocks anywhere I think could use a little bit more body mass. Does that make sense? That's not the right word. Don't listen to this. Don't listen to this tutorial. Get out while you can. And then I'm gonna do underneath the tail because I think that's better than doing above, where it will, I think, kind of take away from the curve. It doesn't have to be even either. You can miss a block where you think a block should be missed, like right there. I think we can miss a block right there. And then right here, I'm just gonna start adding kind of lines above it because obviously this is Minecraft and everything is square right now. I want things to not be so square. You can see that this kind of goes, that is literally boxy. That is so boxy. So I think kind of just adding stuff like that can help and make it less boxy, if that makes sense. Even just that block helped a lot. And then I think just adding kind of lines like this can help too. Okay, and then I think this, I like this, but I don't like how it makes an L shape. I think you can seriously see that. So I'm thinking maybe something like this here, go like this, and do something like that. So that kind of pronounces that back a little bit. And I think that is looking a lot better. I think you can see kind of, there are some blocks that are making it look like it's sticking out in weird places, such as these. I think this one needs to go very badly. Let's just do this. I think that makes it look a little bit better. I think even this area could use kind of a sprucing up. I think this needs to be more pronounced. Ooh, yeah, okay. And then you'll be able to tell when you like something. When something looks right to you, you'll be able to tell. Then, once you are happy with your body shaping, I suggest looking at it from all angles to see what's wrong in certain parts. In this part, I think this is what's wrong. I think that definitely made it look like a staircase. Does that make sense? We can tend to build things in a way where it looks like a staircase. Something kind of like this. Whereas this doesn't really look like a tail. It looks more like a crochet hook or candy cane, right? So I think something that can help with that is making it go at least 2 and then 2 more, maybe even 3, and then making it kind of curve out this way and just at least going more than 1 block. So this definitely looks a lot better than it did before, I think. Then you just keep playing with it and seeing what you can do to make it look right in your own way. I think with the diamond block, you'll definitely find the right block that fits the way you build and the way I think everyone's brain sees things differently, sees shapes differently, and computes things differently. And I can see that, this block doesn't look right next to this block. And I can see that when it's in diamond, but when it's in gold, I have a harder time seeing that. And I think you'll find that with any block, and it'll probably be different for every person. That's just my opinion. Now this, for a face, definitely not it. We're definitely not done. I want to add a bit of a head. A little bit 3x3, a little Rubik's Cube up here. Another thing I will touch on is stairs and how stairs can make a body look. Because if it looks good square, then you know it'll look good. I think something like this works. It kind of looks like a seahorse. This is how we're looking right now. Another thing I like to add is horns or wings or whatever else you're gonna put on your dragon. I like to do that in gold so that I can tell the wings from the horns and, the wings from the body and the horns from the head and just stuff like that. So for horns, this is just really how you like it. I think, just some lines like that, making each one look different, but kind of ending at the same height can definitely look good. So they kind of look similar, but they're not the exact same, because if they are the exact same, that you lose all the fluidity. Then the next thing I like to do is obviously you can add more lines off your horns if that's what you want to do. This part is really just your preference, how you think something should look. And then just the wings. I like to make them come from the middle of the back, and then I like to make it start coming out of here. So this is one wing, and this is the other wing. So for wing 1, I'm gonna go up, and then this is where you have to decide, do you want pointy wings or round wings? I want pointy wings, and I like how it goes, you know, it's here, and then it's forward 1, back 1, forward 1, back 1. So you're getting kind of this effect instead of this effect, because this isn't gonna look good, right? So just like with the horns, I'm gonna try to make them look a little bit different from each other. And then I like to make some little parts that go in and out. This is my preference. And I like how both of those curve in. And then I like to make sure that I'm going down and then forward, because that's what I did with the first one, is I went down and backwards, so now I need to do the reverse. And something like that is a cute wing. If you don't want wings that come straight down, you could go like this and then upward. So I'm gonna leave that there. And then I wanna kinda do that thing to the other side, but in just kind of a different look. So let's do that over here. Trying to get the bottom points to line up too. So I think those look pretty similar. This is what I've done, and then you can see what you don't like about them, which is this block. That's gonna kill me. And then it's just like, this would be the eyes, and then you can kind of start to see a dragon coming together. And then you can add whatever else you want, spikes, anything really. And you just want to make sure you add the spikes going in the direction that the body's going. Now, with my World Edit axe, I'm gonna add this and go over here, just somewhere I know that I'll get everything in it. And I'm just gonna do / pause 2. That's the way you can set position. And then / replace. And I'm only gonna do the diamond blocks right now because the horns and wings and stuff aren't really a concern in the moment right now. And then I'm just gonna replace it with a block that's easy to kind of showcase the way things are going. So we replace all those diamond blocks with stone now. Now I'm gonna grab my stone stairs and any kind of wall that kind of just fits the stone vibe. I like to use a block with stairs when I do these types of builds. You do not have to. I want to make that clear. You do not have to. If you want to build with amethyst, do not feel like you have to use stairs. I like to start adding stairs in a way that it doesn't look like a staircase, because that just makes it look like a staircase again, right? Just a nice polished one. But just in the way of like stuff like this, where you can see that helps add the curve. Even going like that, and just things that kind of add depth, also going in the direction that the body is going. You want it facing the direction the body's going. So if I am just like, you know, one right there, that the body, there's no part of the body going that way. So you see how that made a really nice curve. You could do that if you wanted. So I'm just going to do a little bit of this, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like after. But I do want to show you a way that I can make snouts. A really good way to make snouts is just like this. If you want a snout, make it like that. You could even do that if you don't want it to be full block, but if you do want it to be full block, you just go like that. If you did do a spike with stairs, let's say you did do a deep slate spike and you thought, you know, this will look good, something you could do is just something like this, where it kind of just flows in a certain direction. No rhyme or reason, as a dragon doesn't. Adding a wall on top can definitely help, and that kind of looks like just a spike. Does that make sense? I think so. Thing where it is going the exact same direction as something else beside it. So you can see how this one's going boop, 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 and this one's going boop, boop, boop. So you don't really want that either. So you just kind of change which one you like less. Okay, now I'm going to show you wings and horns. First, I'm going to show you the horns. For the horns, I'm just going to use deep slate again. If it was horns that I was making, I also use walls. Just because if I wanted a spiky horn, that's what I think of. And then something like this can even add depth if you don't want to do a full stair because it looks like a staircase. You could add a slab. This kind of just goes in the same way with the blocks, where it looks good. It can look good on its own, but it can also look good with stairs. And then you can definitely add spikes coming off if you want to of the horns, but I'm not gonna. And then you just do that to both sides, and it depends if you like it. If you don't like it, you see this line? That kind of looks like a stair to me, and it's bugging me because it's just going straight out. So I'm going to remove this and kind of make it maybe come in from the inside But if you still wanted it to go from the outside, you could do something like that, or, you know, put it any way that you see fit. Or you can move it upward too. That could definitely help you. So the next thing that I want to show is the wings. This is my favorite part of any build. So if we make the wings deep slate, you could also do this with world edit / replace gold block deep slate underscore brick. Now, I've never looked at the back anatomy of a dragon personally, so this isn't really qualified advice, but I like to do that. Something like that even. And then I kind of like to add some of these off the side too, if they're not touching anything. And then I like to put glass inside. This will make it harder if you have, what do you call it, stairs in there. It makes it a bit harder because the glass doesn't glass right. Glass can be confusing, if you get what I mean. And then this is kind of what I end up with. You have to figure out a shape that you like, but you can definitely see how this one has stairs and this side has none. So I'm gonna fix that real quick. Okay, now, I think right here, you can like do something like that, and then it'll go out both sides, and that looks good to me. And then I like to use glass blocks personally because panes make it very hard sometimes to place your blocks. For this part, you see where it kind of juts out here. No one kind of has wings like that. You could just do something like that where it encases it a little bit more. And that's kind of what I just do for the wings. And at the end of building all of that, it will look something like this. I'll have part 2 coming out soon of how I color it personally and stuff. Another thing that dragons do have is eyeballs. So if you find yourself wanting to give it eyeballs, they have them. And then you can add whatever touches you want. That's kind of the part where you have to do some of the work and not make me do. Yeah, I hope this helped in some way. Sometimes it can just help to see other people's thought processes, even if you don't use what they did. You definitely do not have to do what I did. Sometimes it's just good to watch a video and make fun of someone thinking that they're helping people when they're really just stupid. So maybe that's why you watch this video. I don't know. But anyway. Thank you for watching. Either way, no matter why you watched. And bye.